Alright, welcome to the startup video for BMS, the Falcon here. Okay, so this is just going to be a really quick, not by the book startup, but it works for me. Okay, so the general flow here is that I'm going to go left to right through my cockpit, essentially setting up all the switches, then starting up, and then finally preparing the aircraft for the mission. Okay, so over here on the left, I'm going to switch my fuel to norm. Gonna turn my UFC on. Go ahead and turn on all my lights here. Okay. Continuing forward, go battery power on, ECM operational. Moving forward, I'm going to turn my comms on. Okay, just make sure that the threat, so this is my RWR volume, and my Sidewinder missile tone is up relatively high. Okay, I'll turn my radios on to main. Okay, moving forward, I'm going to turn my HMCS or helmet mounted queuing system on. I'm going to flip all of these countermeasure switches on and go to manual. That's my wingman starting up. I can close my canopy by pressing this button. So there we go, canopy's coming down. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn my landing lights on. Moving forward, I don't need to turn these on. Okay, just yet. Now I'll move to the right side of the cockpit. I'm gonna turn on these three switches. This is a left hard point, right hard point, which is in the front of the aircraft. These aren't on your wings. These are your HAD and your target pod. Okay, FCR on, and then radar altimeter to standby. I fly with my pilot fault list on. I'll show you that later. Console lights on. Continuing back here, we need the air source to norm. Okay, if you don't do that, and it is hidden behind this armrest here. So make sure you get that to norm. If you don't, you'll get you'll overheat this electric systems in your aircraft. So then we go over here and turn all of these switches on and just go to norm. Okay, so now the aircraft is set up here. So I can go ahead and make sure my throttle's working. Just move it back and forth, and then right click JFS start. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is look over here. I'm looking at the engine RPMs. Okay. Once they hit 20%, I'm going to click right here. There's a click spot. This is like a I don't know, a little trigger here on your throttle. Okay, this will set the idle detent and allow the engine to spool up. Okay. Sorry, and this is 25% once it hits that green line. It's waiting. Okay, we're at 25%. Click this and go ahead and move the throttle forward. If it doesn't work the first time, just go ahead and click it again. Sometimes have problems with this. There we go. And then once that kicks in, you can go ahead and move the throttle back to idle. Okay. While I'm here, I forgot one thing. So this right here will turn your HUD on. Okay, you scroll that up and down. And then, okay, we heard the click over here. There's a JSF our JFS turning off. So what we do is this power switch here, we move that forward to the manual power position, and it turns the cockpit on. So there we go. We have a master caution here. Just disregard that right now. And since we turned our INS to norm, we are aligning right now. Okay. You can see the FCR is initializing. But what we want to do here to clear this master caution is go to our test page. And you can see here these are all faults, okay? So we press the clear button and it clears the faults. It's just warning me now that my seat is not armed. Normally you would arm your seat prior to taxi or taking the active runway. But for now I'll just go ahead and arm the seat. You'll see that the master caution turns off. By the way, if you clear this and the faults pop up again, that means there's actual faults on the aircraft, okay? So anytime you get a fault coming up, then go ahead and you can clear that out. By the way, I didn't show you, but anything that pops up on this test page as a fault, since I have my pilot fault list on the HUD, you can see this is my HUD panel here. I had this on PFL. It would show up on the bottom of my HUD, so I'd have a big list of faults coming up on my HUD. And just to show you where that would be, we can turn that up one more, and it'll take this DED data here and place it on the bottom of my HUD. You can see that's obviously in real time, so 1.8, 6.0 shows right there. Anytime I manipulate the DED, it would manipulate that as well. Go over that later. But there you go. You have the aircraft started up, aligning. You have all of your systems on, ready to go here. Okay. Just while this is aligning, I'll just go back through and make sure that all the switches I need are on. Okay. So these are all emergency. FLCS is your flight control system, so that's like your fly-by-wire system, essentially. So engine norm, UFC, lights are on. Okay. By the way, this right here is the flight recorder, okay? So if you're using TACView or anything, you can turn that on right there. Or press F, that will record if, see, it turns it on here. I can also turn it on there. Okay. Alright, so while that's aligning, if you want, you can do the fire detect, and that'll give you the warning, master caution, and engine fire lights. Okay, so then click that again, and turns them off. And then you can go through this complete warning system test, so you'll hear this go off now.
Pull up. Altitude. Warning. Jammer. Counter. Shaft flare. Low. Out. Lock. IFS. Caution. Bingo. Data.
Okay, once it starts beeping like that after the data check, it's all through with. Okay, still no faults, so we are good. Okay, and that was really quick, but we're flashing ready here. It's over 4.00.8, so we're ready to switch our INS to nav. So left click once here. We're on nav. We see all of our waypoints on the HSD. Okay. One thing that we also need to do is turn our parking brake on. Probably something you should have done. I should have done before starting the engine, but we have our chocks in place, so we're not going to roll anywhere. Okay, so right now our RWR, the radar warning receiver, is off. So I'm going to go down here and power right there. There we go. Okay, so it's powered on. You can do a system test. Once. It's not necessary, but okay. So this is showing no faults. It would come up with the faults if there's anything, and then just so you can hear the what it sounds like to have a missile launch at you, you hit the launch button, make sure that's working. Okay, and then finally we want to click on handoff. Okay, so this is the threat handoff. It's the diamonds around the most the highest threat popping up on the RWR. Okay, so that's the startup. We're ready to go. Okay. Um, all the other systems I'll go through in another video. All that you have to do now is press T for tower, and then 8 is install remove chocks. Sorry, I forgot one important thing here. So we actually have to load the data cartridge. So we go to DTE, then load. Okay. Yeah. So now when I go to tower, I can tell them install remove chocks. So essentially at this point you are ready to go. There's more systems I'll go through in later videos that focus on the DED, all of your MFD sub pages. But my goal here is to keep this pretty short and sweet. So there you go, all started up, and you just have to throttle up, hit your nose wheel steering, and you're ready to go. Okay. I'll see you in the next video.